It's an easy question to answer. It's because there are a group of not many people, a group of probably certainly less than 100, of highly skilled, passionate, and dedicated. You could argue they're nuts. Guys and girls who want to make mechanical watches in this day and age when the technology typically is a couple hundred years old. The guys that I'm working with typically, I think they're all using traditional materials. There's no silicium in their watches. Sometimes they're using maybe titanium that's a little bit less traditional. But the connection that one can make with a watchmaker, often continents away, now via technology, which is much easier. It's a personal human connection, and like many people I know who support artists, whether they work in different mediums of canvas or pottery or what have you, or sculpture, the people that support the creative craftsmen are doing it because they appreciate and have an understanding of what is involved and want to support it because it makes them feel good. And at the end of the day, art is something that I do. Again, I'm repeating myself, but I think it's very, very important. And this world of independent mechanical watchmaking, on the artisanal level, is definitely a form of art. It's mechanical art. I don't think you can really, you can justify it any way you want, but that's a really good and I think sort of healthy way to look at it, because these watches are little pieces of the watchmaker's soul and blood, sweat, and tears, and it's a compelling area to be in and to want to support. So I think that's why mechanical watches exist. The big branded ones, I will touch on that, because I have done that for many, many years prior to this business. They're marketed to an extent, so that means people they want to have this, they believe they should have a product. A lot of these companies have been around for many, many years, 50, 100, 200 years sometimes. The history that can be interesting. The ownerships of the businesses now, some are still wholly owned as an independent company. Most of the big brands are not. They're owned by three big corporations or corporate entities that own these different brands. Some are run individually, others are run where there's a lot of sharing of ideas, parts, movements, and so forth. But generally speaking, I think there's a case, you can make a case for why these companies exist. I think some of the way they market is certainly going to change, and it's definitely changing. But I think the consumer today is a lot more savvy and a lot more aware of the reality of how watches are made, and that's a big change from 10, 15 years ago as well, when I think a lot of these big marketed companies were able to get away with some less than transparent behavior, let's put it that way. So, hope that answers that question.